Hey guys, it's Angel. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the bottom end of nowhere. This is Borrego Valley here in California, right next to the Salton Sea. Of course, location that plays host to the Alamo Sea in Grand Theft Auto. And we're just east of San Diego. Well, other side of the mountains here, and I believe the Cleveland National Forest. So, we're in the Black Square Duke because I don't fly this as much as I'd love to. And it deserves much more attention than I really should give it. So we're going to do just that. So let's make sure the condition levels are set where they need to be. Those are set where they need to be. Those are cracked. Move our control locks here as we should be doing. Right, so let's go through our checks and get this baby off the ground, shall we? We'll be nice and quick with this. Make sure I've got the right stuff actually set in first, so we'll quickly pull the tablet up. There we go. Put the 530 and 430 in here just for the sake of it, so confirm those. There we go. That's my seat I'm looking at. Okay, put you back away. So pre-flight, those are all things that are essentially done. Landing gear is set to down, of course. Actual switches are all off. Circuit breakers are all in. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Fuel selectors to on. So fuel selectors are both to on. Fantastic. Nice and easy step. So starting engine before start. Master battery to on. Okay, battery selector to 1, bus faults 23. Looking good. Auto to both, as it should be. So ignition to auto. Working. Then on. Pumps are good. Okay, start engine. So, right, starter to on. Keep these down here. So once we get the movement we're looking for here, the NG. Give it the fuel. Okay, that's coming up to there. That's where it needs to be. Right starter now to generator. Left starter on. It's not a long flight today. We're heading down to Warner Springs and onto Ramona and then Agua Caliente towards the end. So nice flying over here in the Anza Borrego Desert State Park in the Cleveland National Forest. So I got some good views for you today. And it'll be a lot calmer than our DC-3 adventures in Papua New Guinea, which were quite saucy. Okay, everything's coming up here as it should be. Have to start avionics and master inverter to on. That's on. Everything's looking Gucci. Fantastic. I apologize for saying that. So 2,000 RPM. Our RPM isn't actually changing. Interestingly enough. Is the airplane still broken from last time I flew? That is entirely a possibility, by the way. Oh yeah, it's still at that'd be why it was still at 0% from when I murdered it last time. That's oh god, let's pull this back. Well, it used to be at 2,000, so we're at 2,000. That's not a bad start. We're at 190. Okay, fantastic. Let's not do that again. So it turns out you do need to repair the engine, especially when you've been doing deliberate, horrible things to it, like murdering it. You lose performance. Okay. Everything's looking good here, so we're going to get ourselves taxied out. We're taking 08 today because we're on 129 at 7 knots. We're here at Borrego Valley. Lovely little airfield in the middle of nowhere. It is the butt end of nowhere. There's a small restaurant that counts as a dump. That's grass. I was too busy looking at things to actually pay attention to where I'm going. But you know me by now. This happens. There we go. Okay, taxi out here to the end, and we should be good. What's that warning me on? Oil doors and ignitions. Let me just check those. Okay, nicely done. That should do us just fine. And of course, it's lost track of where I'm wanting to go, so I'll have to set it up before we take off. We'll get that done now, in just a second for you. And we need CL Charlie Lima 35 for our first one. So we'll put the parking brake on there. Nice and quick. L. Yeah. There we go, Warner Springs. Fantastic. Okay. We should be good here to get ourselves out of here, so without further ado, props to full fine. Flaps to take off. Parking brake release. Out onto the active runway here, and we'll get ourselves rolling. 1,400 feet of bituminous surface for today. Duke has absolutely bags of power. Pull our proper RPM. What are you still yelling at me for? Nothing's on the master caution panel. Quiet. Gear coming up. Flaps coming up. I don't fly this aircraft as much as I really should. It's a really pretty aeroplane, and it flies incredibly well. And my head tracking is apparently choosing today to choose violence. So I'll do my best to make sure this works properly for you guys. Let's get our power where it should be. Okay, that's good. Alright, and we should be on course very shortly. Not a particularly dramatic route for us to follow, but it should be at least an interesting flight. And I promised you guys another video this week. It's a quiet week for releases. There's not a ton out on the schedule for us right now. And as I previously mentioned, of course, I've got something happening this weekend. I'm heading to the States for an in-person event. I can't say much about that, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited, and I will be able to tell you some details very, very soon. But it's going to be hopefully quite fun. And in the time being, we get to fly together. And this video will come out when I'm panicking about airports, because I am not afraid of flying. I love flying, obviously. Love flying. Less keen when someone else is doing it. But no, I'm one of those weird people that gets incredibly anxious about timings and schedules and making appointments, so I can be a bit of an anxiety monster. Turn this off for a second. We'll have a good look outside, because this is a surprisingly pretty area of desert, the Borrego. Anza Borrego Desert State Park. You got all these little patches of civilization and irrigation here. But otherwise, it's just Mexico's that way. Just. And you have this whole area that was in progress to be something much more at one point. And somehow just about is. Here's a golf course down there. It's amazing what civilization does, isn't it? Look at this. Greenery in the desert. In the middle of the wilderness. Okay. Okay, our speed is looking good right now. And our performance is looking good. A little bit of nose down trim there just to balance things out. We'll head up this valley and take a left, so we should be good there. Right, what am I exceeding? Engine monitor. Exceeded torque. Or exceedance of torque. So I'm going to take off. Close those off. No, that's caused... Wow, okay. Closing the oil doors actually changed my aircraft's drag and therefore dropped the nose. That's quite cool. Nice deflectors are on. Okay, nice and easy. What's that? Oil door closed. Yes, I'm well aware. Want to open it again? And now it wants that one to be open too. I'll just, yeah. And now it's like what? Okay, so it's, okay. That's fine. That's just notification. We're okay. Not the end of the world yet. Not yet. So we're heading to 3 airports today. We're heading to Warner Springs, Ramona, and Agua Caliente. So that's Charlie Lima 35, Kilo Romeo November Mike, and Lima 54. And they're not far away. This one's 2 minutes now. We're going to do a straight in touch and go here at Warner Springs. And then we'll head on to Ramona, about 60 miles away. These flying videos are definitely ones where you can have a cup of tea, coffee, your chosen beverage, and we can just have a chat together. Me and you, just relaxing, having a nice time, not having to worry about anything, no drama. Unless I'm in something that happens to look like a bush plane, at which point, be afraid, be very afraid. Because I'm about to do something very stupid. And I'm trying to raise my seat, but apparently it wants to go down, but not up. Okay. There we go. And there's our field ahead of us, so we're pulling the power out now. And we'll be coming around this side to get our approach in. Okay. Full fan of the props. Condition is full. Oh, a lot of pull there. She's just there off our engine. Oh, is that it down there? That's it down there. Okay, we're actually off course slightly here. Drop our nose around. Winds here, I believe, looking at my notes I have, are 2, 5, 9, and 6. So this is the correct heading for us to be on. We'll come in for a dogleg base here to the runway. Speed's good currently. Flaps are set. And we'll just curve into towards final here. Technically a glider field here, but they do have 3,500 feet of runway. I think I'm slipping into the beta range there on the throttles here. Not ideal. Looking good. Ah, sorry. Close my eyes. Focus up a little bit. Okay. Nose around. Okay, we're lined up nicely. Simple little runway here. Asphalt in the middle of the desert. Well, slightly more temperate area here. The Cleveland National Forest. Just to our south of this, actually. In that direction. Which is where we'll be heading in a second. Okay, a little bit more power here. Little wobbly. As you can see, we'll see very quickly. It's a nice little airport. Lots of gliders parked up, buildings, etc. Shim won't get a lot of time to look around. But I'll put links, of course, to all these in the description, as I always do. Oh, straighten up a little bit there. Flaps up to 1 notch. And pull away. Am I clicking the right button? There we go, that's the right button. That's just pulling away from that there, right next to the highway. Nice and simple through. And I need to get Kilo Romeo November Mike programmed in here, so turn my head off for a second. so I can see what I'm doing. Oh god, I need to pay attention. Too many things at once is hard. That's close enough. I can see some horizon. November, Mike. There we go. Ramona. Okay, 17 miles, 6 minutes. Nice and easy. And we'll do a full stop here at Ramona. Gear was still out there, so let's pull that. Should have gone up a while ago. I forget my head. The GPS did not program my route properly, only hold the route I had programmed in, I should say. Okay, so a nice short little hop for us here, over to Ramona. And once we get the climb complete, we'll see a lot more view than just glare shield and sky. The downside of a very narrow kind of forward view in this aircraft is, with it being pressurized, the windows are smaller, so not as much view. But not bad either. Side windows aren't dominated by the engine either. You get a decent sort of view, even if it's largely blocked by engine they sell, but it's not the end of the world. Really nice part of the world here in California. Be able to see a lot of really pretty scenery. Got the dam down there. Not really the most popular part, because you've got the northern parts of California that see a lot of action, and you've got the southern parts, you've got the coastal parts, but this inland portion doesn't see anywhere near as much traffic, and it's very pretty. Okay. Pull those props out. Everything's good here. So we'll set the GPS on that, we'll set our nav hold. Oh, I forgot to turn something on, didn't I? Yeah, there's some sort of button I forgot to turn on for the autopilot power, I'm pretty positive. Because I am very special when it comes to these things, I always forget. So we'll trim her out here and hope she'll hold. It's a little bit windy. We're on real world weather, by the way. What did I forget? There's something I forgot. Pitch trim power. You holding any of these things? We're not holding these things, are we? Oh, it is. No, it's holding. 5,700 feet right now, so... You plan to hold that? No, you're not, are you? Yeah, no. We'll finish arguing later. Let's turn that off. Clearly you're going to be special for me today, and I don't like that. And we're only up here 2 minutes. What's the point of putting the autopilot on for 2 minutes? Power back actually and start our descent here. See, you can tell I'm not one of these stick it on autopilot and leave it kind of pilots. Half these planes I fly, and there are a lot of them, and they all have various nuances to them. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that over there, the cloud right along the, as you get to the water over there towards San Diego. Well, San Diego's that way. The cloud right along there. Right along the terrain. Okay. Let's power back. Now, this would be much more fun than the approach for this one, Ramona. It's, I believe, class Charlie. But I'm pretty sure that's it, 12 o'clock. And Ramona's weather is going to be 14 knots at 290, so we're looking for runway 27. So we'll be entering the downwind for 27. Bit of trim in here. Should be much less riotous landing than at Warner Springs. I wish my trim wheel on my honeycomb was faster spinning, but I know there are X's and O's axis and O's I can put in, but a lot of effort, and I'm lazy. Very lazy. Right. Full fine, full condition. I'm aware, yes. Give it enough till it shuts up. We'll turn left into the downwind here once we cross over. I forgot how heavy this thing gets on the pitch when it's being unpleasant. Okay. No problemo. Ramona down there. So we'll head over, we'll turn into the downwind over here. Okay, looking good. Notch 1 flaps, landing gear down. Okay, that white warehouse will do as our aim point. And we'll probably want to go to the right of that, and we'll tuck behind over the town. There we go, a bit more coordinated. Okay, looking good. Second notch flaps. Okay, and keep this power setting. A little bit more. Just a smidge. Okay, turning base. Okay, let's descend. Drop the nose a bit here. Okay, and we're going to roll for final here. Less power still. Little more power. Might be underturning this one. I've been finding the T-33 for mini builds quite a bit, and that thing is the AOA. You do not want to get outside the envelope on the angle of attack for that. We're coming in a very curved final here, but we're actually going to put this in a pretty good spot actually once we get down lower. Perfect. Exactly where I want it to be. Looking good here. More power. Little floaty, that's my fault. This is high glare shield on my low neck. But that was a smooth enough touchdown. Okay. Taxiway here. Wonder what that is over there. Can't quite see. Problemo. Thought it was exciting, turns out to be a Cessna. Have a quick look, shall we? Oh, I thought the body shape looked weird to be a Cessna, and it does, but there's a high one because there's a Cessna behind it, and there's what appears to be like a Grumman A5. So we've got the tower, we've got the various buildings over here. Lots of hangars, including an open one that hasn't any planes in it at the back there. I love when developers include a hangar that's open with no aircraft in it because it lets me park mine. And Ramona has a lot of red here because why? This is where fire tankers like to park and fill up their fire tankers. So lots of retardant spillage there. This will be the fire tanker HQ. So if you want to do any air attack, you got your Hueys, you got your trackers from there. Obviously we don't have any of those yet, but you could take the... I guess the... If you're brave enough to have purchased the Captain Sim C-130, you could fly that here if you wanted to. Alright, let's get this thing taxied down to the start of the runway again, and we'll get ourselves back in the air. Once we've put our ICO in for Agua Caliente. That's Lima 5-4. Should be nice and simple to do. Slow this thing down a lot. Not entering beta in this is a little bit of a challenge. Oh, there we go. And we'll put the brakes on here once we turn the corner. There we go. We'll hold short. And we'll make sure this is all sorted. I love the zoom out. It's always annoying. Agua Caliente. 30 miles. Nice. No problem for this one. So let's go notch down 1 flaps. Okay. Props to full, fine. And we'll take off with almost a direct headwind here, so we should be out of there in no time. Let's keep these throttles not quite maxed out because this thing will overspeed the props very easily. And doing it again apparently. Gear up. Look at how much we're ballooning already from picking up this wind. Pull those props back so they're in a nice range. Okay. It'll be like 10 minutes probably once we get ourselves airborne and turned on speed. We should be just fine. Yeah, the amount of headroom in this is not fantastic. I keep bashing my head against the side frame there. Okay. Turning around, getting on course here. That time will drop down sub 10 minutes once we get ourselves in the right place. And we'll hopefully make our third landing the best. No, my biggest thing I'm having right now is finding where my comfortable position on the throttle is, because my 0 point is not 0. It is not flight idle. 0% of the physical throttles is apparently, where before my notch kicks in, is apparently essentially somewhere in the beta range. So I'm not particularly feeling hugely comfortable finding that spot of 0 throttle, which is messing with my approaches a tiny little bit. So the nose down here. Yeah, sub 10 minutes, there we go. A little bit of power out. Get that nose comfortable. Now, as you'll see down here, little trim down. Yeah, no, our idle point is some betas around here, which we're hitting pretty easily, unfortunately. What's the state of our engines currently? No, we've definitely abused them a little bit from too much thrust on takeoff. That's something I need to manage a bit better when I'm flying this aircraft, is to not overuse that, because I've definitely hurt them a little bit here. Electrical's good, cabin is good, failures are off right now, thank God. But I have been a little bit abusive when it comes to the power, and that's my fault. I'm not used to caring for turboprops. I'm used to caring for a piston engine, but when it comes to turbos, I think I can use more than I can, and I shouldn't be using full thrust anywhere near as much, if really at all in most cases. Yeah, about 8 minutes something now. Have another little bit of a lazy view outside here, the beautiful scenery above us. It's going to be an interesting couple of months, I think. We're going to have some really fun times. The dying days of 2020, or as we see them, and the dawn of 2024 in November. About then, that's when the announced date was for release. They announced that. But I will say, it's going to be interesting because people right now are not picking up releases from developers that are coming out, thinking, oh, it won't be compatible. From what we know, it will absolutely be compatible. There'll just need to be an installer update, which most developers happily provide. I don't see anyone charging for it, unless there's no major reworks needed, really, outside of perhaps crazily complicated aircraft, but that will depend. It hasn't stopped people like PMDG releasing aircraft, so they mustn't be concerned. I can't see it being good business for anyone to actually... We'll go back inside to not drift off course. I can't see it being good business for any developer to say, okay, I will charge you a fee to convert this add-on across to 2024. When in realistic terms, the aircraft component of the sim will, we hope, from what we know, very largely be unchanged. There'll be extra abilities, but I suspect they'll be largely similar. The development time cycle between the two is not big enough for it to be that drastically different. If they themselves have said most will convert over, then it has to be very similar. So chances are it should be a pathway change. Direct files, different locations, different fallback texture locations. It'll be that. It'll be update the fallbacks. It'll be update where things are looking for various files, installers are directing things, and it should work just fine. So I don't believe people will charge, which means there's no reason not to do it and pick up add-ons from developers and support those developers, because they're not making money. Which means they're not going to be able to basically do another project after this one if they're not ever going to buy their current project. So if you like something, just buy it. The chances of it working are basically 99%. Especially from what Asoba's already told us. A lot of the differences are in the performance of the sim, the world, how it functions and behaves. And that's going to be huge. That changes everything. We know that already. So I'm very excited over these next few months for us to all find out what's going to be coming for us. And it's going to be very exciting to see that journey. I know I can't wait. I am as much a sim enthusiast as all of you guys. I've been simming my entire gaming life. Probably from age 13 or 14, when I first had FS98. To me, it's always been a huge part of my gaming enjoyment. It's been part of my enjoyment of flying. Even this, just joining you for a little 30-40 minute flight here, buzzing around in internal Southern California, it is enjoyable. And it's not stressing me out like the DC-3 was. I've not broken into a sweat yet. We're over speeding. Let's pull that back. Now this is 2,500 feet and it's 6 knots at 110. So it's going to be 2,500 feet, 11 and 29. So we're looking for a runway 11. So we should be basically approaching this field from the downwind. And we'll come around and we'll put in. That's wrong. No, we're approaching it from the actual runway heading. So we'll fly past, join the downwind, and we'll land. I am directionally challenged sometimes. I hope you forgive me. Okay, heading back into the desert in the Anza Borrego Desert State Park. It's the Salton Sea over there again. Of course, Coachella is up to the north of that. And what's it called again? It's not Sandy Shores, that's in GTA. It's called Desert Shores, sorry. It's right there on the coast of it, which is what Sandy Shores in Grand Theft Auto was modelled after. And the grassy areas down to the south are what areas of Grapeseed in Grand Theft Auto were based on. Same with the Coachella kind of Space Mountain-y bit. So a lot of this area was used in the Blaine County section, or southern Blaine County in the Sonora Desert. Because the actual Sonora Desert is that way, towards Mexico. 13 miles now. Nice and easy flying here. Hopefully the engines are a lot less annoyed with me so far. As I said in Tuesday's video, you will get one video from me next week. Hopefully it'll be released so you can check out a review. But I'm not sure. I'm going to be very jet lagged and tired, so you'll get whatever I can make on Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll see what happens. So I'm one woman and I am going to be tired. And this is my second YouTube channel. It's also why I don't stream yet. I want to start streaming, and I'm going to try and start streaming as we head towards 2024. I've always wanted to do streaming for flight sim stuff, but with my other schedule, I'm just so crazily inundated, it's really been kicking my backside. So the workload for that is much, much higher than this, so it keeps me very much occupied, so streaming does become a bit of a premium, unfortunately. But I want to make time to make that happen soon. So watch this space this autumn for a streaming schedule coming to YouTube here. You'll be able to join me on this. Whether or not we'll do camera while streaming is another matter. You'll have to wait and see for that. I may or may not. I may. We'll see. Maybe you'll get to see Avangel in the flesh. Oh god, that means I'm going to have to fly with my glasses on, isn't it? I can see mostly well enough. With them off, that's fine. I don't like my glasses. I'll get contact lenses, it's fine. Not a problem. 2 minutes away now. Should be an asphalt surface for us here. A little shorter, but manageable. I'll have to be on my point with this. We're passing over to the strip below us here. I think it's that. Right there. A little strip of concrete and a hangar. What a lonely little airstrip. But this whole area is very... You've got a small township there. Open expanse of sand and desert here. A road with a couple little bits and bobs on it, a couple of houses here and there. Not a lot. It is very remote up here. So sub 2 minutes now. Drop down some altitude. It should be just the far side of this rise, I suspect. Not far away at all. I love doing these kind of flights because I get to go to places I've never been before. I get to bring you guys with me, and I get to share those, and we get to have fun together. So this lets us basically think about having new places to go visit and enjoy. And I get to get more experience in aircraft I might not ordinarily have flown. There's our field. Looking a lot smaller and more remote than I thought. Oh no, that can't be, because it should be off my right, not off my nose. That looks airstrippy though. Is the GPS on? No, there's the runway, I think. I can't tell. That does look like it, doesn't it? I mean, the nose is technically pointing at it, so are we actually aiming for it? Yeah, I think that's it. Some small buildings. This is very Pablo-esque sort of destination, isn't it? Yeah, that's our runway. Right down there. Okay. Yep, that's us. Okay, power's back. We'll go one notch in, full fine on that. Okay, we'll hold these here. Not entering beta range. And I can't see much behind my angle there. Do a 180 here to get ourselves into downwind position for the airfield. I don't think we stand on the traffic pattern ceremony here. Oh, that's going to be fun. With the mountain in the way. I'll have to curve around that. But the winds dictate I go this way. I could descend down to that with beta, but I'd rather not. There's a little village there. This is adult scenery, by the way. So there's not a lot to it. We'll have to see what we get down there. Okay, gear down. We're going to go out. We're going to U-turn, keyhole turn around here. We'll come back in and curve around that mountain, I think. Seems like our best chance for approach. Don't need to worry about standing on traffic pattern ceremony here. This is the middle of nowhere. And even the FAA isn't looking. So. Pull that power. We're at 2,000 feet, so we're not too high up. Not a concern there. Those are good. That's good. That's full fine. Everything's configured where we want it to be with 1-notch flaps. Okay. I'm going to bring the power down. I'm going to turn us around here. Gear is confirmed down 3 green. Okay, we're going to go 2nd-notch flaps. And we're going to hold our nose up here. Now this is more my kind of flying. Off the cuff. More interesting terrain circumstances. And a more acute approach. Much more fun this way. Yeah, curved final approach, coming around the edge of the mountain there. And I need to put this right down at the start of the runway here. Beautiful! Absolutely beautiful. Well, at least it's written on the runway in case we got it wrong. There we go, we can't miss it. It's written right there. Nice. We'll pull over here. There appears to be an RV and someone's Super Cub here. That's about it. Okay, and that is us parked there. Nicely done. And we're down. Okay. Quick little bit of a look around outside. So, a turnaround, a bit of a desert road, a windsock, some writing on the ground, a cracked runway in the desert. This is a good smuggling location. You got about 3 or 4, 5 parking spots here. 6. You got a Super Cub there. A couple of guys chatting. You got this thing parked here that's turned up, a turboprop pressurized twin. Seems a little bit surprisingly powerful for here. No camping, I'd hope not. Some dudes in an RV. Not a lot of airport, but it is something interesting at least to have. And what's this little village over here? I think this is you know, it is stock scenery, but at least it looks nice-ish. There's little porch-style houses there. Oh no, this is add-on. This is add-on, because you've got cars parked there. This is nice. Okay, a little bit more detail than just a little airport. We've got these little kind of holiday cabins. I mean, I can understand, who holiday out here in the middle of the desert? Like, the view is stunning if you want to see sand. Don't be called Anakin. Lots of RVs. I guess people go hiking from here. Nothing inside these, they're just empty shells, but huts, places to stay, RVs, RV parking, village area up there. Adds a little bit of something to something nothing, doesn't it? Well, on that revelatory bombshell. Oh, we've even got this too. Even someone's little place in a Connex container. Of course, exactly what you need. And apparently baggage trolley. For reasons. An American flag. Very important. Thanks for flying with me, guys, and thanks for watching. Bye.